Let that obsession over Fed rate cuts begin. Let's bring in pro trader Michele Schneider, who's watching all the action for us. Mich, the Fed rate cuts received some political talk last week. As a trader, when you hear Jay Powell say the Fed is going to take its time with these rate cuts, are you making trading adjustments?
Well, that's a great question, Angie, and one that I wrote about over the weekend in my daily, which is higher for longer so bad for investors? And I think it's just a matter of adjustment. And yes, as you said, with politics entering any equation when it comes to trading, what it does is it limits opportunities. You have to remain so dispassionate. So if you think about it from a logical standpoint, and of course Powell was on 60 Minutes as well, and people were listening very carefully to what he was saying, and he did mention 3 cuts if you are a Fed-obsessed person. But if we step back, what it means is that a lot of the companies that really got a pass for years with very low interest rates and very low taxes basically could borrow money for nothing and run a company without really worrying about A, returning that money, or B, having their costs rise, and C, if they're a consumer-based company, passing that cost to consumers, now have to worry. So that should be a level of research that people do, is to avoid, especially for now, those companies. But with that said, there's a lot of other areas to look that will survive, because 5.5% interest rate is not crazy, number one. It's normal if you look back in history, and there are many businesses who grew because of, in spite of, however you want to look at it. So we're really focusing now on the areas of the stock market that are telling us that they can handle it. IYT, which is the transportation stock, is telling us that things aren't necessarily going to fall apart if the Fed doesn't lower rates until, say, June. And even if they do it 3 times versus 5 times, that normalization is what we really need to look for here.
Getting to your trade of the day, you have been all about the vanity trade.
I'm watching in particular for this week, besides Novo, that's gone crazy, and AbbVie, which has gone crazy. Coty and Estee Lauder. Estee Lauder did better than what people thought. Coty's basing out. So that's where I've got my eyes on for right now. But there'll be plenty of opportunities as arena that we can talk about as the weeks go by.
Thank you, Mich. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Angie. Appreciate you.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.